went to a garden party to reminisce with my old friends. A chance to share old memories and play our songs again. When I got to the garden party, they all knew my name. No one recognized me. I didn't look.
All right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Carolyn Baldwin is in the studio. It's time to talk about your gardens. My neighbor is an awesome gardener. It's just unbelievable compared to me. It's like night and day. His place and my place. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning, Larry. How are you this morning?
Your show is brought to you in part by
Black Cow Manure. Mature manure.
Easy to remember to say that when you have
it is because it's right there in front of me.
Right in front of you. So for those watching the streaming video,
it's right there. It's the Black Cow, and it's everybody kind of goes, oh, Black Cow manure, whatever the store brand manures and things like that. What's the difference? Okay, I just lost sound.
It's not working?
No, it was.
Okay.
But I can kind of hear myself. Cow manure, everybody says one's the same as the other, blah, 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 blah. Not always. The Black Cow does have, I don't know if I turned something. You're looking at me.
No, it's not on your headphones. It must be in the switch. Where, maybe Dan can come in here and help you.
Maybe it's sounding okay, I think. That cow manure, but doesn't make a difference one way or another. To me, it does, because the Black Cow manure, mature manure,
right.
it is. It's cow manure. It has been retrieved from dairy farms in Florida and Georgia, and then taken and composted. It's been heated, it's been aged, it's been brought up to temperatures that would kill weed seeds. It's not compost with cow manure added. It's cow manure that's been composted. And so you've got
right?
There actually is when it comes to the nutrition and everything else that's going into the garden. So you can get the cheap stuff. It's still going to do some benefit into the garden. But to me, if you're going to go ahead and you're going to do something, might as well do the good stuff. Sometimes the good stuff, sometimes price does reflect quality. That's
usually it does.
Many times it does. Other times you are paying for a name, but not always. And Black Cow does also have locally. You can find also the Black Velvet, which is a mushroom compost, and that is composted material from mushroom farming.
Now the illustration that you have posted right there says 0.5, 0.5. Is that?
That's 0.5% each of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
Okay.
Naturally occurring.
Okay, so is that what it would say on all Black Cow bags?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
And most of your cow manures or labeled cow manure or composted cow manure will say that also, that's about what manure is going to give you as a fertilizer breakdown. There's nothing else added to it.
Okay.
It's just, that's what naturally occurs in that kind of product.
And they're here in Wildwood.
They're right. I believe actually Oxford is where their headquarters is.
But do they sell all over the world or all over the nation?
I'm pretty sure at least the southeast.
So does that 0.5? In other words, does every region use the same formula?
Right. It would be the same thing, because cow manure is cow manure.
Okay.
Is cow manure.
Simple as that, right?
Right.
All right. We do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol-Ann.
Yeah. Good morning, Carol-Ann.
Good morning.
What is your opinion on monogolite for your grass? It's very popular. It's a Milwaukee product. It's a human waste product, very popular up north. I know golf courses throughout the world use it for greening up the grass. You can buy it down here. I don't know of anybody that uses it. What are your feelings on that product?
I know a lot of people who use it.
You do,
I mean, it sells quite. It is very popular because a lot of folks are snowbirds, so they knew about it up north.
Right.
So they come down here and they too use it on their lawns. It's great for your lawn and landscape.
Okay.
It's because it won't burn. It does offer some nutrition, like you say. It's Milwaukee's answer to solid waste.
Right.
Which makes it a little more pleasant to hear that. Personally, I wouldn't use it in a vegetable garden, but if you have ornamentals. And your lawn, it's great, especially in the summer months where you don't want to necessarily fertilize a whole lot, but you're just looking for something to feed the lawn, not necessarily boost the growth.
Okay. When would be the first time that you would recommend applying that?
Anytime.
Oh, okay.
Anytime. That would even be something that even in like November, when we're usually saying don't fertilize anything.
Okay.
If you felt like you needed to do something because your lawn has been stressed throughout the year, whatever, just at that time of year that doesn't take it up real well. This time of year it's going to take it up. You can dump it in your spreader and you can run it across the lawn. I'm not sure if there's even a spreader setting recommendation on that.
Yeah.
Just flip the bag over and take a look, but I'm not sure if there's actually even a spreader setting because it's not a fertilizer per se. It is a soil amendment.
Oh, so you wouldn't recommend using it, just using that and not a fertilizer?
I don't think it would have enough nutrition to support a lawn over an extended period of time. I still think in the spring you're going to need a good fertilizer, and then again in the early fall or late summer a good fertilizer. But in the middle, using the Milorganite would be great. You can even use Black Cow in that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that can go through, and I know the Milorganite, I believe it's sort of done up to where it actually will go through a spreader very easily.
Okay.
And get pretty good and even coverage. But luckily the way it is, or what it is, it's not going to burn.
Right.
It should not give you streaks. I guess it could give you streaks in the lawn of yellow, where you're not quite as dark in some areas. So try to get a nice even coverage, but it's not going to hurt anything if it goes up under the flowers, up into the shrubberies and things like that. You can throw that in when you're planting new beds, anything.
Yeah, is it okay now to put our regular fertilizer down?
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, okay.
I think you can. I know everything hasn't really started to actively begin to grow,
we're having a
but
late
it's
start,
it's gonna come up. And so, if you put it down, read the directions so that you're getting, don't put it on, a stressed lawn. If you haven't had your irrigation turned on, turn it on maybe a couple days ahead of time so the grass isn't water stressed before applying.
Yeah. We should wait a little longer for grass seed for the soil to warm up.
I would. Okay. I would. Yeah, I'd give it probably just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think I got my fingers crossed, toes crossed, eyes crossed that we're done with anything.
Yeah.
Hopefully even nighttime temperatures in the 40s, I'm hoping.
Well, I tell you, we had a lot of frosty mornings last month. I mean,
we
even
did.
last week, almost every morning it was frost, which is unusual, but I guess they said basically the whole eastern part of the country would be below normal for another week or two, but then go above normal for almost the rest of the spring and going into summer. So that was the Weather Channel's forecast going out. But but yet we're still dry. It's still going to be dry down here.
Most definitely. And our usually, because everybody says that we used to be the little sing song, April showers bring May flowers.
Yeah.
Well, with us, our rains don't normally start until May.
Yeah.
And then we usually come June, you've got really good rain, and then if we get and I always hate to say it, is get lucky and have a couple tropical systems. We don't necessarily want a hurricane to hit anybody, but a couple good tropical depressions, a couple tropical lows where we bring in a day or two of rain, of a
wonderful.
good gentle rain. Those are fabulous for our area. Might make for a miserable day, but those are the days you grab a good book, grab a book, curl up and read.
Right. Say, do you offhand, do you know when we can go back to sprinkling twice a week?
I believe we should be able to do it now because the times changed there in early March.
Okay, that goes with the daylight savings time?
Yeah, with the daylight savings time. That made it easier. Yeah, that's when you get to change your batteries and your smoke detectors and change the timer on your irrigation system.
Okay, I'll reset mine for twice a week.
For twice a week, right.
And pray for rain.
And pray for rain on top of it. There you go.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye.
All right, thank you very much. By the way, if you'd like to call Carol Ann, the phone number here is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-WOCA. Carol Ann, you have another call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I had a question about the mushroom compost.
Yes.
I've never used that before. How would that, can you mix that with Black Cow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can mix it either with the Black Cow, you can use it in place of the Black Cow, you can just mix it right into our sandy soils you can use it as a top dress like any other manure type or compost type item.
Okay, and that would go good like on banana trees and that?
Oh, sure. Sure.
Okay, I'm going to have to try that this year.
Yeah, and of course with the one that is packaged, because they always used to say with mushroom compost you need to soak it and let it age more and this and that because of the salts. When it's commercially packaged, they've already done that for you.
Okay.
So you should be able to just open the bag and apply.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was wondering what you were talking about. Not this last gentleman that just hung up, but the one before that. He was talking about mentioning something you put on your lawn, and that he hadn't seen so many people around here using it, but you said you had, and I don't recall hearing what it was.
Milorganite.
Milorganite.
It's
Say that again.
yeah, Milorganite. Milorganite. Milorganite.
Okay.
My spelling's not necessarily real good. It's usually when you find it in the big box stores or anything. It is down near the fertilizers. It is a soil amendment / fertilizer type thing, normally sold for the lawn, so you don't find it out amongst with the Miracle Grow and the Black Cow and those kind of things.
Okay, and it's good for the lawn, right?
It's fabulous for the lawn. It's great for your shrubbery and the rest of the landscape. Like I said, I believe it is labeled for use on vegetables, but personally, it does have, all fertilizers have a metal content, but also because it is Milwaukee's answer to solid waste, it throws me off on putting it on anything I'm going to eat.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, I can use cow manure, but the other one, it just kind of,
I know it's
kind of puts a funny taste in your mouth.
Well, and the way I can relate to this is when I was a kid, we grew tomatoes over the septic tank, and we thought, wow, look at the size of these tomatoes, and nobody wanted to eat them. We said, why? That's why.
It's kind of you're just not sure, and that's. Again, where some of those other things where people for years and years and years we never had systemics for vegetables because everyone was concerned it would get into.
Does the labeling on
Milorganite?
Yeah,
I believe it does say you can use it on growing vegetables. Like I said.
It's just
if I were, it's a personal thing, and I think maybe if I were creating a new bed and I'm getting ready, I'm going to put all kinds of stuff in, and I'm going to maybe let it sit for a few weeks. Maybe I could put it in and not think about it.
Yeah, right.
and mix it in as but I'm sure it has.
Well, it's sort of along the lines of that hormone treatment for ladies, right? It's made out of horse urine or something like that, right?
Oh, I'm not sure the replacement. The
kind
of thing.
About?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's like, holy cow, what do they make it out? And even the name looks like that. I can't remember what it is now, but
Equa something or
no, I don't remember what it was,
but kind of scary stuff. But it's one of those things with fertilizers and soil.
But if the
what it means is the labeling says it's safe.
Yeah.
It's safe. You're allowed to. It's psychological.
And what do they do? Get it from the water treatment plants or something?
That's the best as my knowledge is what it is. It's recycled. It's Milwaukee's answer to solid waste. And it's been around for years. It's one of those things been around for years. I guess it's been down. I know it's been down here for 7, 8, 9 years at least.
And not to be stuck on poop, but you often hear this about your dogs. Droppings. You often see that don't put that in your garden.
Right,
it's
don't
no
put that in your garden. Don't empty the litter box in the flower beds or in the garden because it's what they consume and it's not treated. So the other has been treated as. All
right, you have another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Oh, maybe Carol Ann could change her theme song to Stuck on You. We could replace Stuck on Poop.
Stuck on it. No. Ew, pew.
Okay, so from poop to fungus and that kind of stuff. It seems to be, from what I hear, maybe kind of a bad year for like fungus and lichen and stuff growing on trees. And so it's a very close-growing, light green colored growth.
Okay, it's probably lichen. The kind of stiff, fuzzy.
Well, there's that also, but then there's one that's just close on the trunk.
Oh, okay.
With kind of like a very irregular border.
Like a flat, placky.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
yeah.
you go.
It's a lichen.
Yeah. Now, that needs to be sprayed, or what would you recommend?
If you don't like it there, yeah, I would spray it with a copper fungicide. Spray it with the liquid copper. The liquid copper is going to kill it. After that, you don't really have to do anything about it. It will eventually slough off and go away or decompose on its own.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it like this ever, and it's like popping up all over the place. And like I have a winged elm, and it's like taking over.
Sure, it's not the wings on the elm?
I'm sorry?
As you know, the winged elm has the wings. I mean, some people mistaken that
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, no, it's the green stuff.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be a boom year for that kind of stuff, because even, it was wintertime. Those things were not actively growing either during that time of year. It could just be that because our winter was prolonged, our spring did not get a chance to start, the leaves were not coming onto the trees quite as quickly, we weren't seeing it. Now we go outside and go, ooh, look at there, we can see all this stuff. So it may not necessarily be a proliferation of the lichen and the moss and things like that, but it's just something that we see it. Sometimes we miss the symptom before we finally look and go, oh my Lord, my tree is dead, or my tree is half dead. But for 6 months, there were little spots, extra leaf drop, etc. You know how it goes.
Yeah, well, this is definitely, something that I haven't seen
through
the years. So in other words, it's not harmful just to leave all that, because, it is growing.
It is. Well, like I said, it's not going to kill the tree. It's something that if you don't like it there, if you believe it's taking away from the look of the tree, if the tree seems to be declining, I'd be working on trying to help the tree to thrive better, help it give its immune system a boost. And I probably would spray it if it's something if it's just unappealing to my eye. Why not? It's just a copper fungicide. You may need to do it annually. It's not that hard to do. If it's way up in the tree, spray the areas where you can reach.
Right.
No, unless you've got somebody else who can get up on a ladder for you.
Yeah. No, Carol Ann, actually, something you just said just really, really hit me, that maybe it's an indication that I haven't been fertilizing enough. And so, I really like that idea of, doing more to boost the health boost
the health of the tree, of the landscape in that area. You may need to look and see whether or not you're getting good air circulation even in that area. Some things, we plant it and it lets it grow. We might prune it a little bit in the spring, but we don't realize that little 3-gallon shrub is now the size of something that came out of a 7-gallon pot and is now blocking airflow elsewhere in the garden. So we need to take a look at those items too.
Wow. It's just amazing how gardening leads to all kinds of, like, who would think, airflow.
Yeah. It's the same type of thing of when you've got an issue with a plant, in a way, kind of going through when somebody comes to me going, here's my problem, and I have to go through almost like a physician does and diagnose by asking the proper questions and trying to get, if I can't see it, to try to get that mental visual over where is the airflow, where is the sunlight, where is the water coming from, how much of it, how much mulch, when was it last redone, when was it last fed, and with what?
Yeah.
What else has...
It is so an art and a science, and taking in all those variables in consideration. it's really amazing. And just like when people are crowded in together, they don't do so well either.
Right. Yeah, we stick a whole bunch of people in an office building, and when the flu starts going around, nearly everyone gets it except for those who take that time to make sure that their immune system is healthy.
So thank you
thing.
so much again for everything that you bring up and discuss and inform us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
And it makes your garden prettier, right?
Yes, it does.
And it makes you maybe a little healthier, too. And we had again that whole discussion this morning about the
genetically modified. I just love the way government puts these riders into bills that have nothing to do with the topic that they're dealing with, but somebody gets their little pet thing through either for their kickback or whatever. But it is a frightening thought that that there's this ability for this company or other companies like them to put together genetically modified, plant it, grow it, and force it upon the market. But there is much more right now of a big campaign. I think it even made one of the ag reports I heard was buying local has become the new organic. Is purchasing your produce, whatever you can get, where it's been produced locally, and people are willing to
makes
pay
sense.
an extra few cents a pound to buy locally produced produce or meat, eggs, cheese, things like that, where you've got that local flair, that local flavor, buying things that are in season. We've talked about this frequently. I know growing up as a kid, you didn't have tomatoes in January because in New Jersey, tomatoes didn't grow.
Yeah, right.
But all summer long, you may have eaten tomatoes 2 or 3 times a day because they were in season.
Right.
And I guess that's where my grandson gets it from, is I love corn on the cob. I love sweet corn. And I insisted on having it every year at Thanksgiving. You couldn't get fresh corn on the cob at Thanksgiving, but you bought frozen. You could, and that was harvested at its prime, processed, put in the freezer case. You could go to the supermarket and buy it. Today, you can walk in the grocery store, probably in any state in this country, and buy corn in November, December, January. It may not have come from Florida. It may not have come from the state you're living in. But it's the carbon footprint, the shipping, etc., is what they're trying to say. Okay.
I was going to say, what's so bad about that? But you just said it.
And you're going through that. You might. We didn't eat that way, but now we do. Or when you did, you bought the frozen foods, which there's nothing against those, or canned food. Those have all been picked and processed, to the peak of, or doing it yourself in your home garden, or buying green beans by the bushel basket, tomatoes by the basket, and canning those up. There's folks out here that still know how to do those things, who I'm sure would teach people if they were interested. Unfortunately, our extension office doesn't do a home canning course. They're not set up to do it. Was it Citrus County, I believe, did. I don't know if they still do. I know a few years ago they did.
How long does it take to can something, like with those little ball jars?
It depends, because if you're going to do something like pickles, where you're using vinegar, you're using an acid inside of it, those can process through once you've made your pickle. You've brined them and everything, got them ready, which might take you 30, 45 minutes, and then you're going to hot water bath, can them. That can take another 30 minutes or so. So it really, you're talking a couple of hours. You're talking a couple of hours on a Saturday afternoon kind of thing, or whatever, your day off. But if you're thinking about doing green beans and squash, you need a pressure canner normally. So that's why a lot of folks, what they'll do is instead they'll freeze items.
Okay.
I freeze a lot of stuff, just because all I have to do is clean it, wash it, blanch it, chill it, portion it out into my containers, seal them up, and throw them in the freezer. And got a big
you
big
put them
upright freezer.
in one of those bags that sucks the air out of them?
I don't have one of those.
No?
I should get one, but yeah, that takes and vacuum seals them. But
Yeah.
I usually just do them up and put several bags into another bag, and that way just take one out and when needed. But
It sounds like it would take too long to make it practical for you to do a video teaching that.
Yeah, that would be kind of hard to do.
Come over to your place one day.
Not unless we set up something and tried to do it,
We could get
and then edit it all, and
We'd
then
have to
make
do it
into
outside
a
with a
short,
propane stove or something, right?
Something, yeah.
You got to boil it.
Well,
When you
need
say
to
blanch it,
when
what
you
does
when you
blanch mean?
when you blanch food. Say you've got your mess of green beans, you've got them all trimmed up, you're ready to go, they're clean. You take in small batches. You put them into boiling water for the set time. It's anywhere like 1 to 2 minutes on most things. A little higher on some of the other more dense vegetables, and then you take them out of there, promptly putting them in ice water to stop that cooking. Once they're in that ice water, you drain them out, drain the water off, and package them up.
Carol, we need to take a little break, and we'll be back. And at the end of this show, by the way, we'll give away another $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery.
Super.
I will find a trivia question that will win this for somebody.
Great.
And if you have a question for Carol Ann and you call right now, you'll be on hold about 3 minutes. We'll take a break and be right back. The phone number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 352-622-9622. I'm trying to do that from memory. I have this habit of reading it. So I hope I said it right that time. Did I say it right?
You got the phone number right.
All right, we'll be right back.
Are you experiencing pain in your neck, head, or back? Have you been in a recent accident or injury? Get your questions answered by me, Dr. Riyad Fakuri, board-certified chiropractic orthopedist at the Fakuri Medical and Chiropractic Center, here on the Head to Toe Care Show, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to answer your questions so you can get the help you deserve. That's Dr. Riyad Fakuri on the Head to Toe Care Show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on WOCA, The Source.
Hey Larry, nice haircut.
Oh, thanks, Robin. Looks like you had something different done, too.
Yes, I did. Thanks for noticing. I went to Lupe at Merle Norman on the Boulevard for a fresh cut, some summer highlights, and a facial.
No kidding. That's who I go to. I didn't know she did all that.
She does coloring, waxing, styling, updos, microderms, and she does it all for prices that won't break the bank.
Sounds like you can take the whole family there.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Hi, this is Lupe. Let me be your personal stylist. To set up your appointment, call me today, 426-1229.
Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honeydew list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now. From Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
From the very beginning, women veterans have worn many hats. Army berets and nurses' caps, aviator helmets, and Morse code headgear. The hats reflect the roles they played, from nurses and radio operators to pilots and mechanics. At the same time they wore those hats, America's women veterans also wore the hats of wives and mothers. Mother, sister, daughter, veteran. Serving their families, defending our country. We honor all the hats you wear.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
With all the hard work you put into your lawn and garden, it just makes good sense to use the best products you can buy, like Black Cow composted cow manure. Use it with new landscape plants and trees, flower beds, and vegetable gardens, or use it as a top dressing for your lawn. Black Cow is organic, all natural. Look for the bright yellow and black bag.
Black cow, the mature manure black cow.
All right, 23 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's return to Carol Ann Baldwin, and you've got a garden? I've been looking up trivia questions, by the way.
Looking up trivia questions.
Because at the end of this, we have a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery.
And it's a great time of year to be going over there.
Do you visit like one nursery in particular? Do you have two or three, or?
Lately, I've just been so busy. I haven't hit a nursery one since the Master Gardener Spring Festival, actually.
Oh, really?
Where, went around and saw a bunch of them, and, the ones that are many of them were local. Some local, meaning Alachua County or Lake County and things like that. But, Taylor Garden's always been a favorite of mine up there.
Well, they're just nice people. I mean,
they're nice people, but
they're all nice people.
They're all,
I don't mean to single anybody out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just, I go, when I'm looking for something, I go looking. If you're looking for the unique and the unusual, go to the independent nurseries. If you're looking for true knowledge and things like that, go to the private nurseries. They're the ones who are in it for the love of the plants. When you go to a big box store, you have employees of a big box store.
Yeah.
They may or may not have any real knowledge on plants or landscaping. Some do. Some of them do, but not, don't expect the guy who's throwing the mulch in the back of your station wagon to know a whole lot about grass. He's
not
doing
that kind anyway.
Maybe another version, but that's it's a whole nother thing. So if you're into your landscape and you're looking for something unique, get out there and go to the independent nurseries, go to the independent garden centers and things like that. You may not find necessarily fertilizers or sprays, but I know Bob Wines carries some products like that you can use in the landscape, and they also carry like pine straw. I think Bob Wines is one who has pine straw. Not too many people carry pine straw as a mulch, but it is a good one. It does offer an interesting or a different look than everybody else's. It does take a while to break down. It's a good mulch. But those kind of things that you're not going to find at, you name it, whichever big box store you're thinking about, that even may be your favorite because you've got somebody in that store that happens to be knowledgeable or seems to be.
And it looks like you have another phone call.
Great.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hey, it's Lauren again.
Yeah.
I just want to confirm, yes, Bob Wine does have pine straw. I loaded up the other day. It was delivered.
Nice.
And I really like using it. Plus, it has that natural component in it that acts as a natural weed suppressant killer.
Right.
And so I just think it's wonderful to either, utilize layering it or, put down before if you do use another mulch or whatever. But it's bundled beautifully, and I think it's great.
Oh yeah, it does a great job. It is a renewable source of mulch versus, say, like cypress, though everybody says, well, cypress is a tree. Yes, but cypress takes forever to grow. Pine bark, again, another part of that pine or timber industry, it's a renewable resource. I believe one of the companies is now doing eucalyptus mulch, which they're growing the trees, to the best of my knowledge, here in Florida, and they're turning those into mulch. And eucalyptus, as we know, does offer some resistance to many different pests, because if you think about the smell of eucalyptus, that might be, you have to like the smell of eucalyptus, because this may also have that scent, that mentholy, you got a cough drop in your mouth, kind of scent to the garden, at least initially. But even that, after that, it does still offer some natural insect repellent properties. Melaleuca mulch that the county extension carries in, I believe, 3 different grades of mulch in that. Any kind of mulch is going to be a benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's such a bummer. I'm allergic to eucalyptus, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's also an issue. Yeah, some people are allergic to eucalyptus, and people who are allergic to papaya may also be allergic to Melaleuca mulch. So take that, we found that out when a lady called over to Extension a couple of years ago. Her daughter had just bought a bunch, had applied a bunch down, and was having an allergic reaction. And they traced it back to mulch. And it wasn't an additive, it is the mulch, the oils that are
Larry, isn't Carol Ann amazing?
Carol Ann is amazing. I would agree. Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, Larry, so are you, but I'm just saying, who would know the papaya and Melaleuca? Well, if you're allergic to one, you maybe.
Well, that's only because we found that out because this gal had an allergy to papaya,
right.
Had an allergic reaction to the mulch. Tie 1 and 1 together, and you come up with your answer.
And got 2.
And got 2. That's it. We didn't come up with 3.
No. Unfortunately, you didn't get 3. So.
No.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to say,
thank you.
Mulch
Sure.
over Bob Wine. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Sounds great.
Let's have another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Good morning, Larry, Robin, Carol Ann.
Good morning.
I have a plan for a little raised vegetable garden. I want to tell you my plan and see if you think there's anything else I should think about while I'm doing it.
Okay.
I want to make a raised bed of landscape stone, about 4 feet by 10 feet.
Okay.
Then fill it with a mixture of local dirt and black cow,
Uh-huh.
and kind of mulch that together, and then make a little fence around it with chicken wire to keep out the armadillos. I have armadillos that patrol regularly and dig in my backyard.
Sure.
And it's going to be in a place that gets good afternoon sun, full sun, but not full all-day sun.
Okay.
And I was thinking just some things like tomatoes and just fun stuff that I'll eat.
Okay. That sounds good. How high are you going to raise it up?
I was thinking just a couple of blocks, maybe 6 to 8 inches.
That's fine, because usually when we think raised bed is really to hold in the soil amendments we put in. The higher you go, the more it costs you to fill it up.
I see.
And in order to try to get a good depth to it. But that's fine, especially being you're going to put some chicken wire around to keep the critters, at least those ones, out of there.
Right.
I think it takes about 16 inches to keep rabbits out, but if you have wire above, you're talking 2 feet, I'm sure, of chicken wire around there, so that should keep them out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I imagine I will have some invasions there, but it's just mostly a deterrent because those armadillos, boy, they come in the yard and they dig just little
they're going after grubs and things like that and earthworms.
Right.
And so,
I like them, when my girlfriend's like, "Oh, you should block your fence up to get under the little hole fence." And I think they're cute. I like them. So
they're different. They're unique. Right. The only other thought you might have is when you're doing it is to actually make a trench around the outside block, and when you put the chicken wire down, let that go underground a little bit, and that would keep them from going under.
Oh, okay.
Or possibly
under the blocks,
they could. I'm not saying they will, but they could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What do you think about putting a simple drip irrigation system in while I do this?
Like the micro irrigation,
Yes.
like that. Oh yeah, that's the easiest way to go. You can buy them in either in a simple kit where it comes with everything you need. It's it's enough to do like a 250 square foot garden, so you would have more than enough in that. You can put that in. You get a simple manual timer, so you can turn on. What you do is with a manual timer is you hook it up to your garden hose at the faucet. Turn the faucet on, and say before you leave for work, you want that garden to water for an hour. You take and set that for an hour, and you walk away. It will turn the water off. It won't turn it back on, but it will turn it off, and they're inexpensive.
Yes, I use those for my lawn watering. They're great. You just turn on for 15 minutes and just go on your way.
Right. You don't have to worry about going, oh, am I going to get back in time, or I'm going to forget about it. And if you're not looking to go to the expense of a full electronic timer, the little mechanical.
My experience with electronic timers is they're kind of problematic, and moisture gets in there, and you have problems. Those mechanical ones, just like an egg timer kind, they work forever.
They work and if they don't, you throw it away and you pick up another one.
Yeah.
So it's. I know we live in a throwaway society, but sometimes it's
yeah, they're like $10 or something.
Right.
That, But I've had good luck with them. I think I only had one go bad, and Depot gave me a new one. So.
Oh, great. Yeah, if you put a filter on your faucet, between the faucet and the timer, that helps, because I know at my house I have a lot of lime in my water, and that's what happens to mine is the lime gets built up in there and becomes a problem, and then you kind of have to soak the thing or spray like lime away up inside of it to knock that stuff out.
Or throw it away.
Yeah, or throw it away and just get that's true. But no, the garden size sounds great. The 4 foot by about 10 foot, you were saying?
Yeah.
You can grow quite a bit of stuff in there. You can grow a lot.
Also, isn't it wonderful to see spring? I see my trees are all leafing out, and it's here.
You're seeing that nice bright new green of the new leaves on the tree. It was so nice that I think it was last week I had on jeans and a sweatshirt coming in here going, I'm freezing. Today I left my sweatshirt in the car when I got out of the car, and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I go, yes, I'm happy now.
Well, some people say they can still have another frost, but I don't see it.
I don't see another frost. Not for us. I just don't. I don't see it. The temperatures even getting down into the mid-30s would be iffy.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to work on my garden.
All right, have fun.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I was looking at the tree in my yard, too, saying, hey, look at that, because all winter long it's just been barren.
There's gray.
Except for the
mistletoe up in the top. Yeah, that's always,
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning. My name is John.
Hi.
Good morning, Caroline and Larry.
Good morning.
I got a question about cow manure again.
Okay.
I have 10 to 20 acres of cow patties.
Okay.
I have access to these.
Okay.
Does the cow manure lose its strength, its value, as it sits in the pasture?
Not really. I mean, because it becomes dry. You figure when black cow does theirs, they gather theirs all up, get it in piles. They do add moisture to it, but they compost it. They heat it. I mean, they get it to heat up naturally, but I mean, that's what they do. And that still continues to have nutritional value. Now, if you got the dry patties, I wouldn't use fresh right in the garden. It does need to age.
Yeah.
So
some of them are so dry that you could use it as a frisbee,
Right, the cow patty toss. Yeah, cow patty toss kind of thing. Take and run them over with your lawnmower, or run them through your chipper shredder, or bust them up with a hoe or something. Yeah, just use them use it in the garden.
So they're still valuable.
Yes.
One more question here on compost of cow manure. The routine there, is it different than the compost of other items?
No, not really. Actually, your cow manure is going to get hot pretty quick. If you had an access to where, if they're like dairy, that black cow uses dairy cows because they do come up to a barn. Yes, cows don't care where they go, so sometimes they're cleaning that out on a regular basis, and so that's fresh. So that's actually very hot. That's why I said we don't put fresh cow manure in a garden because you'll burn your plants up. But you can add it to compost, and it's going to get that compost to heat up really well, which is going to help that break down really quickly and be ready to go in a garden in a short period of time.
And give me an example of a short period of time.
6 weeks or so.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
6 to 8 weeks is, if you can get a layer, if you can get it layered in there with all your other stuff, with your leaves, with your other yard waste, kitchen scraps, all that stuff, get a nice layer. And once you've done that one, start another one. Don't keep adding to that one. After a few weeks, see if you can get it flipped over. If you can't, take and just turn it into another pile. Try to blend it well, and that's going to kick it off again. You do need to keep it about as moist as a squished out sponge. It still needs to have moisture in there, otherwise you end up with some ants who like to get into it. So you do have to add water to it. Adding some of the native soil, a few shovelfuls of that, because there's also microorganisms that are in there that will help it to break down and also convert that into the energies that it needs to be to make compost.
Yeah, I've got a lasagna garden, so I'm kind of aware of what you're talking about.
Okay.
I love your program every Tuesday mornings, and actually OCA throughout the week.
Well,
Appreciate
great.
All right.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you very much.
We've got a few more minutes left for some calls, and just toward the end of the show, I got a $20 gift certificate and a manure-related question.
And a manure-related
I figured you had enough talk about manure, I could make that the
you
question.
could come up with a question for this. I'm sure we can. But no, this is, we've got a beautiful week going here. I think they are talking that we could get some rain later in the week. I think I heard on the news Orlando got rain yesterday, lucky dogs. We haven't gotten any rain. And many times we do get missed by some of those rain showers because they do come across, it's those ocean currents, air currents and things that bring it in, and sometimes it'll get stuck on the west side of I-75 and we don't get any, or it doesn't come.
Doesn't like cross the interstate.
It doesn't want to cross the interstate, or it won't come down past the Swanee River Valley from the north, and we get left out, or it circles around and goes out in the forest and it rains on them. But you can turn your irrigation systems back on if you don't want to do that. If you want to try to go to the more, you're going to pay a little more attention to your lawn kind of thing. Remember, your lawn can tell you when it really needs to be watered. When you walk across that lawn and you're leaving footprints in the grass, if those grass blades are beginning to fold, they kind of have a seam. If you ever look at that vein down the center is a seam. If he seems to be folding, it needs some water. That's a sign of
I never did that.
So you can base it on that. Just remember that the county does, or the water management districts do have set days. So you may need to make sure that you water it really thoroughly at least one of those days out of your two, and then watch it and see. We may still be cool enough that you don't need it to come on that second day. But watering deeply, and that way your roots are going to go down. They're going to, where you want them, where they will seek out water. They'll be cooler down underground. Mow at the proper height. You can go ahead and work on the fertilizers. Read the fertilizer bag. Maybe I'll go through, because I'm sure we're running a little short on some time, is most of our turfs, St. Augustine, 3 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per year. It does take some conversions to figure out how to break that down and make it work for your lawn. Bahia, same thing. That's for established lawns. Zoysia, it's 4 pounds. But they, don't put down too much fertilizer. All you're going to do if you do that is have runoff, which is pollution, too much top growth, which encourages, you'll need to mow more. Then it encourages pests and it encourages fungal problems. So just try to get yourself down to a good schedule on it. The Ag Center has great information on that. Maybe I can get into a little more, even though we should have pretty much done our fertilization within the next couple weeks here.
Just going back to something you said way earlier in the show about buying from the local farmers at the farmers markets, etc. That makes a lot of sense, especially to a guy like me.
Right.
Because as much as I listen to what you say and think, I always think, gosh, that would be cool. I should start a little vegetable garden. I've never done it.
Right.
And I've known you for how many years?
Oh, years.
But every week you make me want to do this.
Right.
But at the same time, so I know I'm not going to do it more than likely. And so knowing that are people who do that, it makes a lot of sense for me to pay. What do you call it? No. To buy from them.
To buy, right. To
patronize them.
To patronize,
is that the word?
Patronize the local farmers markets, the local, and we've got, about 5, I think, now?
Do we really?
I know there's several. I mean, not all of them are here in Ocala. I know there's North Magnolia. There's the one on the downtown square.
They should start
there's one out on, or there always was one out on Top of the World. There's one down south. I guess it's actually at the Villages now. It was at Wildwood. There's one, as far as I know, it's still in Bellevue. So I've got 5 right there.
You know, if they all started a coalition, and to be part of that, you had to pay a little thing.
Yeah.
And that money was used to buy advertising, then everybody would know about all of them. Because I only know about a few of them.
Right,
and there's been at least one that advertised here.
Right.
That I knew about. The Friday
one on North Magnolia. Yeah, North Magnolia Merchants Association.
But I think advertising would be very helpful to them, and I'm sure it's probably cost prohibitive for the individual.
But if they sort of co-opted it together and had a listing. I know the Star Banner puts it in for them, but not everyone gets a paper.
Right.
And it gets listed once a week. In the B section, or it might be in the calendar.
It's not always easy to advertise.
To remember, and I wish I could get out to them more, but I'm at work when they're all going on. Unfortunately, but if you have the time,
the one downtown is still on the square on Saturday, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So
that always looks like it's very popular.
And there's also some smaller roadside places who aren't part of the organized,
right.
where you go, and you know that the stuff's coming because you can see the truck farm over here, and they're sitting out in the front with their lean-to shed, selling the produce right there, or you see the name of it and you go, oh, you know what? I've seen his farm somewhere. So we are able to do.
See, I was going to say this, but I didn't know for sure. Robin puts them on Facebook.
Okay, right.
And I was going to say it, but I didn't know for sure, so she handed me a note, so we're sure.
Right.
All right, let's go to the phone, then I'll ask my trivia question. Good morning, you're on the air with Carol Ann.
Hey, Carol Ann.
Hey.
Larry. Listen, this is Ann. I read in the paper, I think yesterday, that the one that they had down at the county is going to start up, and I believe this Friday is going to be the first time, and it's like from 2 to 6 p.m. because that's so the employees that work there can go over there and buy fresh produce, and they do have some plants too, herb plants and things.
Right. So what, is that at McPherson?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to get there myself, and it would be a good thing, if you're going to go to the art walk, you could go there and pick up some things. And
pick up something you can nosh on while you're walking around looking at art.
Right. Or some stuff you can take home, and after the art walk, go home and fix yourself a fresh salad or something exciting like that.
There you go.
But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because I was happy to see that because I like that farmer's market a lot. It's
great.
Lots of room to park. You can park close, and I don't know how many people come there. We need to patronize it more, I guess.
They all need they all need us to come out and visit all of them.
Yeah. Okay, I just thought I'd mention that.
Thanks.
And I'm ready for the warm weather.
Aren't we all?
I've had it with cold.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's good to hear you all again.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Ann.
Talk to you.
All right, ready? Here we go. Here's the trivia question that will win somebody a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. The phone number to answer the question is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-WOCA. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
What city in America prides itself on being the manure capital of the world?
The manure capital of the world.
Yeah, what a! And I looked to find out why, and I couldn't find an exact answer. But according to
they must have a lot of pilots.
According to the internet,
here and they're piling it there.
Now I'll tell you this: in Canada, Southern Ontario is considered the manure capital of Canada.
Of Canada.
Just so you know that. But I don't know why Southern Ontario is I guess because those provinces are way bigger than our states. But anyway, what city in America considers itself the manure capital of the world? Good morning. Do you know?
Is it Chicago? Well, they used to have all the stockyards.
That's true. That's true.
No.
They did used to have the feedlots.
It just sounded funny. I don't know why.
Yes.
But no.
Well, I understand why it sounds funny. It's great.
And logical.
Okay.
But that wasn't the. Well, that's not what I found. No.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. She was a little too far north. I guess I could give.
Give her that. Give us that.
Yeah, a little too far north.
too far.
She's about right as far as east and west go. It's about.
Okay, so
It's about at that point. You know.
Kind of one of those Midwestern states.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Midwestern, big poop state.
Hopefully my geography's okay. I'll give you a hint. There's been songs written about this city. Some old rock and roll songs, especially. Any idea?
No, I'm a little no.
I believe there's 2 states that claim this city. It's one of those cities that straddles a line, I think.
Oh.
Again, if my geography's
If the
correct.
geography's working.
I'll give you another hint. Its initials are KC.
And there's also a state named after it.
Well, yeah, either that or it's named after a state.
Yeah,
I'm not
or it's
sure.
yeah.
But isn't it one city that straddles a line right there? And two states claim it? Isn't that? Good morning. What do you think we're talking about? What city?
Oh, it's got to be Kansas City.
It is Kansas City. $20 is yours. Is this Hugh?
Yes, it is.
Hugh, you got $20 waiting for you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know why it was called the manure capital, but that's what it says on the.
Well, they process probably a lot of manure.
What a name, huh?
Yeah. Well, what a
claim to fame.
Yeah, that's it.
The manure capital of the world.
Capital of the world.
Hey, but you know what? Doesn't the
Works right with Black Cow, the mature manure.
And it is a healthy
amendment to your soil.
It's just, again, the genius of God.
There you go.
He figured out a way to take poop and make it worth something.
Put the one into the cow, when it comes out, goes back in the ground, and it makes a big circle.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks, Larry.
Good show as
Great
always.
Show. Yep.
We will take a little break, and we'll be right back. We have a local author coming in, and he has a whole bunch of different types of genres. It looks like he writes in. Steve Burt will be next. We'll be right back with Steve.
Yoko brought her walrus. There was magic in the air.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. Lawmakers in Connecticut, the site of the Sandy Hook School massacre, are about to pass some of the strictest gun control laws in the nation. They include an extension of the state's ban on assault weapons and stricter background checks. The town of Nelson, Georgia has just approved a measure requiring residents to own guns, saying it'll make the community safer. Prince, the singer, may be called to testify in the wrongful death suit.